Sound of a gentle breeze, then a sudden ominous low hum begins and persists. Imagine a world not too different from ours, filled with bustling cities, towering ambitions, and people who believed they were the masters of their own destiny. This was Europe in the 14th century, a time of knights and castles, of soaring cathedrals reaching for the heavens. Humanity felt invincible, their arrogance a monument as grand as any they had built. They believed they had conquered nature, tamed the earth, and that their future was a golden road stretching endlessly before them. But in the shadows of this glittering world, something was stirring. A silent, creeping dread. It wasn't an invading army with banners and trumpets. It wasn't a king's decree or a political fallout. No, this was an enemy far more ancient and terrifying. It was small, unseen, and utterly, horrifyingly merciless. It began subtly, a whisper on the wind, a rumor from a distant port, a story of a sickness in the east, a great pestilence that turned the world to a graveyard. Most people dismissed it. It's just a story, they'd say, something that happens to other people in other lands. They were too busy, too important, too arrogant. Compassion had become a rare commodity, hoarded by the few. The gap between the rich and the poor was a chasm, and a man's suffering was often met with a shrug. Sound of a rat scurrying and squeaking. Then the ships arrived. Grand merchant vessels, their holds laden not just with silks and spices, but with a hidden, deadly cargo. The first couriers of this apocalypse weren't men on horseback, they were rats. Common black rats, scurrying down the ropes and into the labyrinthine streets of Europe's cities. And clinging to their fur, unseen and unnoticed, were the true assassins. Fleas. Tiny passengers carrying a microscopic monster. Yersinia pestis, the plague. Music swelled slightly, becoming more dramatic and somber. It came not with the roar of a cannon, but with the quiet shiver of a fever. A sudden ache in the limbs. And then the telltale sign, the bubo. A grotesque, painful swelling in the armpit or groin, blackening as the flesh within died. It was a mark of death, a promise of an agonizing end. Panic, a cold and suffocating fog, descended upon the cities. The arrogance of mankind shattered like glass. The heavens they had tried to reach now seemed deaf to their prayers. Doctors in their strange beaked masks, filled with herbs to ward off the bad air, walked the streets like spectral birds of prey, but they were powerless. Priests offered last rites until they too succumbed. Neighbors turned on neighbors. Families abandoned their own sick, fleeing in terror. But there was nowhere to run. The whisper of death was everywhere. The world had become a charnel house, a testament to the brutal truth that when we believe ourselves to be gods, nature has a terrifying way of reminding us that we are merely mortal. The silent enemy had arrived, and it would change the course of human history forever.